Borrow, invest, pray. The real way to wealth. In today's world, there are countless get-rich-quick schemes, gurus selling their success stories, and flashy ads promising an easy road to financial freedom. But amidst the noise, there's one phrase that stands out, and it's both controversial and intriguing. Borrow, invest, and pray. Is this really the path to wealth? Or just another dangerous gamble? Can borrowing money and taking on debt truly be the key to financial success? Or does it risk your future? Let's dive deep into this concept and explore the truth behind this approach. Borrow, the power and risk of leverage. The first part of this equation is borrowing. This might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, borrowing money means taking on debt, and debt has a bad reputation. But here's where things get interesting. Borrowing, when done correctly, can be a powerful tool for growing your wealth. This is what's known as leverage. Leverage allows you to use other people's money to make bigger investments than you could with just your own capital. In real estate, for example, taking out a mortgage allows you to buy a property worth much more than the money you have in your bank account. If the property appreciates, you stand to make a significant profit. The same applies to stocks, businesses, and even certain investments like peer-to-peer lending. However, borrowing is a double-edged sword. The key lies in how you borrow. Taking on debt without understanding the risks can leave you in a dangerous position. High-interest debt, such as credit cards or payday loans, is often a trap that only deepens financial woes. But good debt, such as a mortgage or a low-interest business loan, can be used strategically to build wealth over time. The lesson here is to borrow wisely. Don't dive into debt just because the opportunity seems appealing. Do your due diligence. Understand the terms and conditions. If you're borrowing to invest, ensure that the returns on your investment will far exceed the cost of the loan. Borrowing to buy things you don't need, like luxury items or vacations, won't make you rich. But borrowing to invest in assets that can grow in value, that's a different story. Invest, the road to building wealth. The second step in this equation is investing. You've borrowed money, now what? This is where the rubber meets the road. If borrowing is the fuel, investing is the engine that drives wealth creation. The way you invest can make all the difference between financial success and failure. Investment is how wealth grows over time. It's the strategy behind growing your money by putting it into vehicles that can appreciate: stocks, real estate, small businesses, mutual funds, bonds. These are all examples of investments. But how you invest matters. When you borrow money to invest, you're betting on the future value of your investments. This is the risky part. There's always the possibility that your investment might not grow as expected. Stock markets can crash, real estate values can drop, and even well-thought-out business plans can fail. The key to successful investing is diversification. Don't put all your borrowed money into one investment. Spread it out across different types of assets to reduce your risk. In the stock market, this might mean having a mix of growth stocks, dividend stocks, and safer, more stable investments. In real estate, it might mean owning different types of properties in various locations. You also need to be patient. Wealth doesn't build overnight. Even if you make a risky investment, the magic happens when you hold on through the highs and lows, reinvesting profits, and letting your assets appreciate over time. Warren Buffett's strategy of buying and holding investments for the long haul has made him one of the richest people in the world. Investing isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about building wealth steadily. Pray, the spiritual side of wealth creation now. Here's where things get a little unusual. The phrase borrow, invest, and pray adds an element of faith, belief, and mindset. And while prayer may not be a traditional part of a financial strategy, it represents something very powerful: hope, focus, and the ability to weather adversity. Building wealth is tough. There will be setbacks. There will be times when you doubt yourself. You'll face challenges that seem insurmountable. And in those moments, praying or believing in something greater than yourself can provide the mental and emotional fortitude needed to push through. While prayer itself isn't a business strategy, the concept of staying positive, focused, and resilient during tough times is crucial to wealth creation. Many successful people credit their ability to keep moving forward, even when faced with failure, to their mindset and belief systems. Faith can be a powerful motivator when combined with practical actions. It's not about relying on prayer alone to make you rich, but rather using it as a source of strength to maintain your belief in the process when things get difficult. The risks of borrowing, investing, and praying. As with any strategy, the borrow, invest, and pray approach comes with risks. If you borrow too much or invest too recklessly, you could end up in debt with no returns. Borrowing for investments can be dangerous, especially if the investments don't perform well, or if you're in a high-interest situation. And while having faith is important, relying solely on hope and prayer without taking concrete steps toward managing risks, reducing debt, and making smart investments will not lead to long-term success. The key is balance. You can't just pray your way to wealth, and you can't just borrow and hope for the best. It's about creating a plan, taking calculated risks, making smart investments, and maintaining the mental toughness to see it through. Final thoughts. So, is borrowing, investing, and praying the real way to wealth? The answer is, it can be. But it's not as simple as just borrowing and praying. You need to borrow wisely, invest strategically, and pray for the strength to keep going when things get tough. It's about having a clear plan, taking action, and having the mental resilience to weather the ups and downs that come with wealth creation. Borrowing, when used correctly, can unlock opportunities for growth. Investing, with knowledge and patience, can compound your wealth. And having faith in yourself, in your ability, and in the process, can give you the strength to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Wealth isn't about getting lucky or waiting for the stars to align. It's about making calculated decisions, learning from your mistakes, and staying relentless in the pursuit of your goals. So, the real way to wealth, it's a blend of strategy, mindset, and action. The journey might be tough, but with the right approach, you can make it.